The House by the Side of the Road by Sam Walter Foss, 1858 to 1911. There are hermit souls that live withdrawn in the place of their self-content. There are souls like stars that dwell apart in a fellowless firmament. They're pioneer souls that blaze the paths where highways never ran. But let me live by the side of the road and be a friend to man. Let me live in a house by the side of the road where the race of men go by. The men who are good and the men who are bad, as good and as bad as I. I would not sit in the scorner's seat, nor hurl the cynic's ban. Let me live in a house by the side of the road, and be a friend to man. I see from my house by the side of the road, by the side of the highway of life, the men who press with the ardor of hope, the men who are faint with the strife. But I turn not away from their smiles and tears, both parts of an infinite plan. Let me live in a house by the side of the road, and be a friend to man. I know there are brook-gladdened meadows ahead, and mountains of wearisome height, that the road passes on through the long afternoon, and stretches away to the night. And still I rejoice when the travellers rejoice, and weep with the strangers that moan, nor live in my house by the side of the road like a man who dwells alone. Let me live in my house by the side of the road where the race of men go by. They are good, they are bad, they are weak, they are strong, wise, foolish, so am I. Then why should I sit in the scorner's seat or hurl the cynic's ban? Let me live in my house by the side of the road and be a friend to man. Okay, this poem is by Sam Walter Foss. Let's see, his mother died when he was very young, and he worked on his father's farm, so he only actually went to school in the winter, and in the summer, the rest of the year, he worked on the farm. Eventually he went to Brown University, and he became a librarian in a place called Somerville in Massachusetts. Now, what's actually interesting is there is a house called the House by the Side of the Road, but this comes from this poem. It's in a place called Tilton, New Hampshire, and this was actually Sam Walter Foss's home in 1877. And this is when he was attending Tilton Seminary. So there actually is a real house by the side of the road. So what's this poem about? Well, this poem is about he's saying what Sam Walter Foss wants to do. He wants to sit by the road and he wants to watch people go by. He wants to watch everyone go by, and he wants to help them. He wants to help people, and he's not going to be judgmental. Yeah, he knows there will be people who are happy, people who are sad, people who make mistakes, people who don't make mistakes, but he knows he's not perfect, and he's not going to be judgmental. He just wants to be there, and he wants to be able to help people. So he thinks that it's not good judging others, because these mistakes are very easy to make the same mistakes ourselves. So there are hermit souls that live withdrawn in the place of their self-content. So there are some people that are hermits, that they live alone and they're happy to live alone without man, without society. There are souls like stars that dwell apart in a fellowless firmament. Yeah, so they're people that like to live apart they like stars in a sky, in a firmament, in a sky of where there is the only star is themselves. There are pioneer souls that blaze the paths where highways never ran. So they're people who are pioneers, and they find their own paths and they make new roads, and each of these people, they do their own thing. But as for me, let me live by the side of the road and be a friend to man. So this is what I want to do. I want to watch the world go by. I want to live and have access to all of mankind who goes by on the road. Let me live in a house by the side of the road where the race of men go by. So where the different people go by, let me watch the different people. The men who are good and the men who are bad. As good and as bad as I. So yeah, there are good people who will go past. There are bad people who will go past. But I'm not all good and I'm not all bad. Yeah, I make mistakes. Yeah, I would not sit in the scorner's seat. To scorn, to think badly of somebody. So I wouldn't sit and I wouldn't think badly of people, nor hurl the cynic's ban, nor accuse people cynically of only acting in their own self-interest. So he's saying he wouldn't be judgmental. He wouldn't judge people for what they've done. He wouldn't judge the things that they do as being good or bad, because these are mistakes that he can make just as easily. And all he wants to do is to live in a house by the side of the road and be a friend to man. So he wants just to help people, nothing more. Yeah, he wants to be a friend to men and to help them as they go by. I see from my house by the side of the road, by the side of the highway of life, the men who press with the ardor of hope. So sitting in his house beside the road, he can see the people go by, and some people are full of burning hope that they go forward because they hope is the thing that drives them, and hope is their purpose in life. And then he sees the men who are faint with the strife. So he sees people who feel bad about the problems and the difficulties in life. But I turn not away from their smiles and tears. So I don't mind if they're happy or not happy. I'm not going to turn away from them. I'm not going to reject them. Both parts of an infinite plan. So there is good and bad, and this is part of the infinite plan of God. Yeah, he believes in a higher power. Yeah, let me live in a house by the side of the road and be a friend to man. So he wants just to help people. Yeah, that hope and sorrow are part of God's infinite plan, and he wants to help people through life, and this is his aim in life. I know there are brook-gladdened meadows ahead, and mountains of wearisome height. So a brook is a little river, and a meadow is a field. So brook-gladdened meadows. This is a meadow, a field, which has been made happy by a little river. And this is referring to the good times, the easy times, the wonderful times. And mountains of wearisome height. And difficult times, problems which are very tiring. So he knows that going through life there are good times and there are bad times. and that the road passes on through the long afternoon and stretches away to the night. So he knows that the road is long, that the road is difficult, that you can't give up. It's something that goes on, and it has good times and bad times. And still I rejoice when the travellers rejoice. So when the people travelling down up the road are happy, I'm happy with them, and weep with the strangers that moan. Okay, so, and when people are sad, then I am sad with them as well. Yeah? So he imagines himself by this side of the road, feeling the happiness and sadness of the strangers. And these people, and he's saying that he doesn't want to live in his house by the side of the road like somebody who lives alone. He wants to be part of this flow of life, of the road of life, of these people going past. Let me live in my house by the side of the road where the race of men go by. So I want to live in this house by the road where all types of life go by. The race of men. They are good, they are bad, they are weak, they are strong, wise, foolish. So am I. So all of these characteristics, men are good, men are bad, men are weak, men are strong, men are wise, men are foolish, and I have all of these characteristics as well, the good ones and the bad ones. Then why should I sit in the scorner's seat? So why should I be critical about them? Because I'm the same as them, and I am not a person to criticize them for faults that are equally possible in me, or hurl or throw the ban, the prohibition of the cynic, of being cynical about their intentions. Just let me live in my house by the side of the road. So I just want to live by the side of the road and watch people go by and be a friend to man and help the people that go by. So there you go. Enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. The House by the Side of the Road by Sam Walter Foss.